What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 61 of our Cincinnati Bengals franchise. In today's episode, we have the Super Bowl 56, between two back-to-back conference champions from last season to this season, the Rams and the Bengals. If you guys saw the last Super Bowl from the last season, the Bengals ended up winning against this Rams team, and it's a rematch. It's a rematch. I don't really like rematches that much, but in this instance, I'm digging it. I think this is a cool storyline to try to finish off this series, and once we get done with it, guys, I'll end up having a series simulation to get this thing really wrapped up and put a bow on top of it. But here we go. Kickoff. We are kicking off to lead off the game to the Rams. The Rams are going to have the first possession of this Super Bowl number 56. We got to win our second Super Bowl in franchise history, and I think we've got a good shot. We've really figured out how to beat this Rams team in the preseason, in regular season, in the Super Bowl. I think we've got their number here, so let's go. 1st and 10. First play of the game. We're going to get dropped for about a 2-yard loss. Deron Lee getting in there to stop Todd Gurley. It's going to be 2nd and 12. Jared Goff firing it out to the right, looking for Gurley or his tight end out there, and there's nobody there. Just gets rid of it. Faced a lot of pressure on that throw. 23-yard line here at the 3rd and 12 downage. And Jesse Bates coming up with a huge interception right there on Cooper Kupp. He was trying to shoot it deep. Just couldn't lead him out far enough. So Tim Brady and the Bengals get lucky here with that interception thrown. Tyler Kroft going to get out to the right for about a 26-yard gain. So Brady, 1 of 1 already for 26 yards. 3rd and 10 now. Brady dropped back, firing it out to the left, and a complete pass there to Desmond Dallas. 2 of 4 now for 41 yards. That would be a gain of 15 yards right there. 2nd and 1. Here's Joe Mixon on the play action, and Garrett Wong. We love that play on the drag route with Garrett Wong, the rookie tight end out of Florida, gets the first touchdown of this Super Bowl 56 here. So here's Todd Gurley, and now, it's going to be a guy that we're going to have to try to shut down. It's really difficult to do, but Jaquan Johnson, very undersized compared to Todd Gurley, actually takes him down. And then here's Gurley again, just plowing through everybody. He gets that first down. Rams are up to the 29-yard line, and now at the 24-yard line, on a 4th and 5, they're going to elect to kick a field goal here after the Bengals get them to get shut down. So 7-6. 7-6 game here. 4:52. The Bengals do not do anything on their next possession, and Todd Gurley is gone. That's a home run for the Bengals, guys. It's a heavy hitter right there. And you know what? Calling that 4-6. That blitz. It's a do-or-die play. You're either going to stop Gurley and he's dead in his tracks, or you're going to give up a huge gain if it gets to the second level, and the Rams are going to get that touchdown. So they're now up 10-7, and CJ Uzomah, after this nice catch here, is going to leave the game with an injury. So he is done for the Super Bowl. No CJ Uzomah to play in the rest of this game. But check it out. Look who's coming up big time with the absence of CJ. Garrett Wong gets another touchdown. And guys, this connection between Brady and Garrett Wong here, awesome. I love it. He threw it right at the break, too. I just love the connection here they got going on. And a little bit of a late hit there, but no call. They just spun Tim Brady to the dirt, and he obviously was throwing it out of bounds. So I don't know what the referees were looking at there. I think in the real-life NFL they would have called that. But here we are. And then after that no call, you got to wonder if Brady was trying to, if he was trying to do a little too much there, or if he was kind of reeling from that hit. So he's going to throw an interception to Joyner, trying to shoot for his tight end, his safety valve right out there to Tyler Kroft, and nothing doing there. So here is Shaheen going to get in on that option route that actually worked for the Rams. It didn't work for us, leading to that interception, but that's going to be the first touchdown through the air for the LA Rams here. So 17-14, 6:06 left to go. Brady trying to drive his troops down the field to try to get a score here. Field goal will obviously do a lot of good. Tie the ball game up, possibly get a stop. Could go into the half with a lead with another score, but we do get a face mask called, and that's a big break for us. 4:35 here. Here is a play action, throwing out to the right, looking for Martavis Bryant, and it was through his hands. He had it in possession, and he just dropped it with the contact. And it's going to be 4th and 6. Waldeck comes up big time, gets that field goal. It's going to be 17-17 here. About a minute 39, Rams are driving. So even if they score here, and it looks like they are, right in the back of the end zone, to Robert Woods. I've always liked Robert Woods, guys, out of USC. Just didn't get a whole lot of love when he was coming out of college here. So here's Desmond Dallas going to come up big with a first down and more. Brady now 198 through the air. 1:14 left to go. Brady with a 7-step drop. Oh, that was a risky throw. Threw it right behind Deion Jones. And yes, Deion Jones is a Ram this year, not an Atlanta Falcon. So he did sign through the free agents, it seems like. 43 seconds to go. Brady, 3rd and 10, cannot get the ball out. Luckily, though, he avoided the sack, because a sack would have definitely put Waldeck out of field goal range. And in 41 seconds left to go here, he's going to get it just enough through, and we actually pull it back a little bit. So now 24-20 as we go into the half, and I got to say that's a good spot to be in. I know we wanted to shoot for that touchdown, but to tie the game. But we're gonna take that field goal even if it inches us a little bit closer here. So 3rd and inches, and Kemi Martin checks into the game due to Joe Mixon actually having to leave this game. So he's hurt. He's not coming back. It's going to have to come down to Mark Walton and Kemi Martin to get this thing done for us on the ground. So we're going to have to rely on our 2 backup running backs. And look at this, blocking out to the right by A.J. Green on this little short hitch routes. And Garrett Wong gets his 3rd touchdown on the game. So this connection between Brady and Wong, I'm telling you guys, it's something special. But 2nd and 10, Brady going to get sacked. So 3rd and 16, and almost an interception there. It's not a throw you want to make. And then Waldeck going to have to come on again at the 39-yard line. It looked like he had a bad snap, a bad accurate kick there. Not an accurate kick there on my part, my fault, but it's going to go through anyway. So it's going to be 30-24. We are up 6. Got to get a stop here. Here is Pompey, one of your guys' custom players, your custom college players that you guys had in the game. So he's going to come up with a big-time catch there for the Rams, and Goff looking out to the left. He's going to find his tight end. That is Bryant. He's going to get the touchdown, and now the Rams are now up by 1. 2:44 left to go. Mark Walton checks into the game. He's going to get that grindy first down here, and here is Mark Walton on the swing pass. He's going to get a first down. So that little swing turned into 10 yards. So I've got to say that's a really good read by Brady, and an even better route run by Walton. And Kemi Martin trying to do his best to get his first down on the swing pass again. And look at that bulldozing effort there by Mark Walton Jr. Going to pick up the first down and more. 1:55 left to go. Kemi Martin, he's got juice. Oh, he's got juice. He's got juice in those legs. He can't get through, though. He can't get to that second level to turn on the Jets and get that score, which, I mean, we want a touchdown here, right? I understand that you're going to kill that clock, and a field goal is going to pretty much win you the game if you can do that, but a touchdown would do absolute wonders here. So Kemi Martin going to pick up the first down there. Again, he's got a lot of life in those legs, so maybe it's a good thing that Mixon was able to get out of this game and let Kemi Martin go, because, Mixon had a lot of carries this season. A lot of carries. The Rams are now out of timeouts. 3rd and 15, so we're moving backwards. We want to be inching a little bit closer to that field goal post. And here's Martin. Nothing there. There's just nothing around, guys. And here we go. 4 seconds left. Make a good kick. Oh, it's looking good. Right here, right now. 0 seconds on the clock. And the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl 33-31 against the Rams for the 2nd straight year. And Tim Brady and your Cincinnati Bengals, guys, are Super Bowl champions for back-to-back seasons. 2-time champs. And I'm telling you what, guys, this team is prepped, primed, and ready to go for a dynasty type of run. We have a lot of depth, a lot of young guys. We don't have a whole lot of really old players that are going to retire on us. The only guy I can really think of would be like A.J. Green or Geno Atkins. That's pretty much it. Everybody else seems to be like really young and up and coming, and a lot of guys are already in their prime. I mean, we're looking at two guys right there. Bernard McKinney's kind of a little bit older there, but we're looking at two guys right there, Tim Brady, Kemi Martin. Joe Mixon's entering his prime. We've got guys that are entering their prime in the prime positions. Okay, so I like where we're at as a franchise. So awesome job by the Bengals to win this football game here. And what a clutch performance by Kemi Martin and Mark Walton. When we really relied on those two guys to drive down that field, kill that clock, and even better job by the offensive line to open up those holes for those guys. Because without those guys, we probably would have lost. We probably would have lost by 1 point, which sucks. which would have sucked. Absolutely sucked. AJ Green 6 for 56. Tyler Kroft 6 for 80. And it doesn't look like Kroft is coming back, so it's a really good sign that Garrett Wan was able to catch 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl. In my mind, he might have been my MVP. Honestly, I know Tim Brady won that MVP for the Super Bowl, but he would have been in heavy consideration for me, just because you got to get open for your quarterback to find you, and maybe you might even consider Adam Waldeck winning that MVP. Had over 250-plus yard field goal attempts, and he made them both. That's pretty clutch, guys. So we're heading now into the offseason, and we're making offers to Dorrance Armstrong Jr. out of Kansas. And just taking a look at other positions here, we're pretty much set. Right outside linebacker, we probably could look at some guys here, maybe like Harold Landry if we really wanted to spend a lot of money. Lorenzo Carter would not be too bad. Ben Gideon, I like Ben Gideon out of Michigan, 79 overall right now. He wouldn't be too bad. He'd be more that run stopper type of linebacker guy that we would want to have just to kind of back up Swilling, who was our rookie linebacker that we ended up drafting. But I'm going to go with the veteran presence type of deal, and Ryan Kerrigan. So I know he's a little bit on the older side, but again, doing that 1 year type of rental, it could get us back to a third straight Super Bowl. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go after that. And Eli Apple is another guy that I'm going to go target, because I do like to always get those one year type of corners in your cornerback room. But I know that we offered him for 3 years and he's going to reject anyway. So you guys will notice up on the screen real quick, Thomas Kuhn is our new head coach. And if you're wondering what the heck happened, because I know there's a couple slides you guys saw that there was some rando offensive coordinator or something that was wearing the Bengals gear. Marvin Lewis ended up retiring, so he won his 2 Super Bowls, and he's out. So we're going to actually offer this contract to Joe Hayden, and he is going to sign. So now we do have that third or fourth type of cornerback on a 1 year deal. Jason McCourty ended up retiring as well, which is, like I said, I like to find those guys to kind of fill out that defensive back room. So here's our draft results. We ended up taking two running backs, a wide receiver, a backup quarterback, and those were all simulated picks because I did not do any scouting for 2022. I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't feel like I had time, but yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. We're 6-1 though. We're 6-1 in the next season, and here's a mid-season stats update. Tim Brady, 1,970 yards, 15 touchdowns. Joe Mixon already about halfway to 1,000 yards. Travis Barton, the rookie out of Florida State, getting some love as well. AJ Green leading the way in reception. Actually, he's tied with John Ross, but Desmond Dallas taking a huge step forward in year number 3, and he's got quite a bit of touchdowns right now, guys. So I like what I'm seeing out of Desmond Dallas. Ahmad Newman not getting any starts there at left guard. Our guards and our offensive line is actually healthy this season. You guys also saw that Nate Solder is retired, so Lucas Alexander is now starting opposite of Lane Johnson. Here's some defensive stats for you guys. Sacks, Jordan Willis leading the way at 5.5. Jonathan Hankins has 2. Carl Lawson only 1.5. So Jordan Willis is killing it right now. Absolutely killing it with 5.5. No 2 interceptions for William Jackson, 2 for Darqueze Dennard. Adam Waldeck only has 4 field goal attempts through 7 games. Interesting. So I hadn't even looked at the scores yet, but yeah, it looks like it's legit. We're scoring a bunch of touchdowns. beat the Patriots 28-21, the Browns 27-24. A couple close victories there, but we did beat the Ravens in week number 1. And here are your final season results, guys. The Bengals, through simulation, with Thomas Kuhn and the players that they have, 14-2. 14-2. Coach of the year, first-year coach, Thomas Kuhn. And looking at the Offensive Player of the Year, Tim Brady finished third behind Marcus Mariota. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Bernardrick McKinney, and Deron Lee finished in fourth place for the 14-2 Bengals. Can you guys believe it? This is what I'm talking about, though, is that this team it's set up really, really nicely to make a big-time run with Tim Brady at quarterback. As long as he stays quarterback of the Bengals, I think that a lot of good things could happen for this franchise. Desmond Dallas winning co-runner up number 2 spot for best wide receiver in the AFC. Lane Johnson right behind DeCastro. So we can't really seem to take out these Pittsburgh Steelers here in first place. But you guys saw our offensive line was being recognized a lot, with a lot of our guys there as finalists for top 10 offensive linemen. But this is interesting. So Von Miller wins best linebacker, but defensive player of the year was a linebacker in McKinney. What's up with that? He should have definitely won best linebacker. So Adam Waldeck finishing in third place as well for best kicker in the AFC. And then if we go over to the NFC, we're just looking at some players here real quick, kind of get you guys just a lay of the land before we just totally end this series. So Reese Ingram, one of your custom players, starting at quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. He finished in the top 10 as well. Sean Stewart finished in the top 10 for Defensive Player of the Year at linebacker for the Packers. And you know what? He's turned out to be a really, really good player, just making a ton of tackles. Between him and Blake Martinez, that's a pretty filthy group. That's a linebacker for the Green Bay Packers. So we look at the best running backs on the board here in the top 10. Nobody of mention. And then here's Gavin Pompey right there, finishing third as best wide receiver in the NFC. Best O-lineman, a lot of Dallas Cowboys, but nobody here as far as custom recruits go. And then if we look a little bit further here, best D-lineman, nobody there as well. Deion Jones, we saw a little bit of him in the Super Bowl. And nobody there for linebacker, but best defensive back. Is anybody? No, nobody. So there are the end of season stats. Brady had over 4,400 yards. Mixon had 1,889 yards. And check this out. When's the last time that this happened? I want to look this up. 3 receivers over 1,000 yards on a single team. And they made up over 17 touchdowns combined together. It's like, holy crap, that's the reason why we're 14-2, guys. We're totally spreading the ball around, and with this new coach, Thomas Kuhn, and Brady in this offense really took it to the next level, guys. I'm really impressed with how they did. And here's Keldrick Swilling as well. He had 8 sacks as a linebacker, and Darren Lee didn't see how many sacks, so 9. So he had 9 sacks. So, man, the linebacking core is killing it this season. I think everything has come together for this year to go 14-2. It's the best season that we've had in this series, bar none, by far. So we're going to take a look at some custom recruits here just to kind of get you guys an update on them. Reese Ingram, 37 scores, 13 interceptions. So he's very efficient. 67% completion, over 4,100 yards through the air. Reese Ingram had a good year. He had a good year. I like what I see. All right, moving on here to the Chiefs. Let's see if they've got anybody. Nope. Chargers, nobody. Receiving, I know that they had Xavier Haney. There he is, 77 receptions for 722 and 3 scores. It's not a very great year as far as touchdowns are concerned, but you know, when you lead your team in receptions, I think that's pretty noteworthy. Nobody in the receiving end for the Chiefs. The Colts, I know that they had a couple guys here. Colton Fritch, 18 receptions, 222 yards at running back. And as the backup behind Kenyon Drake, he had a pretty decent season, only 4 touchdowns. So it wasn't like he wasn't totally a non-factor, like he wasn't used. but it's good to see that he was able to chip in here. So another wide receiver, Gavin Daniels out of Florida, 60 catches for 845 yards. That's actually good for second place on the Cowboys team. 1,100 of those yards coming to Christian Kirk, who had 15 touchdowns. Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't realize that. 15 touchdowns. Holy crap. And guys, look at this. You want to know how creepy Madden is? Jesse James is a tight end on the Detroit Lions in this series. How crazy is that? Like, we were so far ahead of this actual real life offseason. How did Madden know that Jesse James is going to get it on the Detroit Lions? How did they even know that Josh Allen was going to be a linebacker for the Jaguars? We faced him in the playoffs. Crazy stuff. Let's move it on. Sean Stewart for the Packers, 121 tackles. Guy was killing it. Absolutely killing it. 3.5 sacks, 99 of those going for solo tackles. So just missed by one for that season-long milestone to get 100 solos. It's a lot. It's quite a bit. Moving a little bit forward there, I don't see anybody else, so we'll go to receiving where there is another player. Winslow Davis had 89 catches for 866 and 2 scores. It's a pretty solid season, all things considered, for a number 2/number 3 type of wide receiver. Nothing else here for rushing yards. Let's take a look at the Panthers, Patriots. I'm trying to think if there's anybody here for the Pats. I don't think there is. There is not. Nope, I don't see anybody. There's Deebo Samuel. Gronk is still playing. Yep, I don't see anybody. But we do have a couple Rams here, and here's Gavin Pompey. 966 yards, 10 touchdowns. So that's a really good season. Really good season. All right, moving on to the next season's playoffs. We did beat the Steelers in the divisional round, and then we took on the Broncos in the next round, and we beat them. So now we are going to the Super Bowl for the third straight year, guys, to take on the Dallas Cowboys. And now we're starting to talk about Dynasty. Now we're starting to talk about legendary stuff, right? Out of Tim Brady, he's only been a pro for 3 seasons. 3 seasons. This is crazy. This is crazy what's happening right now. Here's the Pro Bowl list. You guys saw a couple guys that you're familiar with. And taking a look down here at free safety, strong safety, I don't see anybody there that's associated with the Bengals here, but just one punter, that's Kaser, and their former Bengal, Gio Bernard. So let's go ahead and simulate the Super Bowl. 14-2 Bengals against, I think that is 12-4 Dallas Cowboys. 13-2-1, excuse me. So it's going to be a barn burner. Who's going to win? I'm doing this live, so I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay, that might mean we did it. That might mean that we did it. We did it! Yeah, baby. Bengals, 3-time Super Bowl champs, and we only beat them by 3 points. This is a really good Dallas Cowboys football team, guys. Christian Kirk on this team. Gavin Daniels, Ezekiel Elliott. That offensive line was nuts. The offensive line was crazy for Dallas. A lot of awards and finalists for them, and we just took it to them, guys. We're just better. We're just better. Tried to trade for Jason Hall. I know that was a big-time request for David Ott, so shout out to you right there. Just can't get him. They value you. They love your guy. They love Jason Hall. So next season, we ended up not making the playoffs. The Texans ended up getting the first overall seed in the playoffs, going 13-3. There's Joe Mixon yet again, 1,200 yards with 19 touchdowns. You read that correctly. 19 touchdowns last season. Crazy. Here's one of our younger players. Mike Hollenbeck had a pretty darn good season. AJ Green is no longer on this Bengals team. That might be what was up with this season. I'm not sure. Might have affected the way the offense was rolling. But Lucien Laurent now getting the starting job as Andrew Luck signed with the Buffalo Bills. And so now he's getting a chance out in Indianapolis. So he ended up making the Pro Bowl. We see Lane Johnson made the Pro Bowl here in 2023. Going down a little bit further, here's Derek Westbrook. Remember, this is a custom recruit, or a custom player that you guys wanted in, Paul Wilkerson as well. Your guys are starting to really like step up in 2023. I mean, they're really good. They're really good. Derek Westbrook 99, Wilkerson a 95. So a lot of you guys that were taken in the first and the second rounds are turned out to be, really something. Looking a little bit further down, he's a massive turd. He's a massive turd? What? Anyway, 11-5. 11-5. We ended up finishing this season 11-5 the next year. So this is 2024. This is 2024, guys, so don't get confused. I know it's going pretty fast, but I did end up simulating a little bit further. And just taking a look at Joe Mixon's numbers from last season, he had 19 scores. This season, 13 scores. He's been a pro for 8 seasons. 2 have not gone for over 1,000 yards rushing. He's absolutely killing it as a Cincinnati Bengal, and I can't be more proud to have him on the team, man. He's been doing awesome. Here's Garrett Wong for the Bengals there, 62 receptions, 7 touchdowns. So again, it was a really solid pick. I think we took him in the 3rd or 4th round in one of those drafts that we did. So he's turned out to be quite a player for us, and we're not really missing Tyler Kroft at this point. So there's the defensive numbers, and then taking a look again at some of the players that you've gotten familiar with. Reese Ingram had, again, another really good season. Looking at the quarterbacks, we got Nathan Kern not getting a lot of action in Minnesota. I don't remember if Eric Krause was one of your players or not, but I showed him anyway. And then Lucien Laurent out of Northwestern doing some good things for Indianapolis. Gavin Daniels having a stellar season yet again. Almost got 100 grabs, but he did go over the 1,000-yard mark. And then Manny Darvish out of Michigan State ended up having a good season as well. So let's go a little bit further. Xavier Haney, 78 receptions there, 8 touchdowns, and he's not with the Chargers anymore. He's actually with the Patriots. So I think he's liking his time out there with New England. Levi Craig out of Alabama had a pretty darn good season as well. Going a little bit further here at the Pro Bowl. I know this is moving very, very fast, but we got a lot to get through, guys. Let's look and see if anybody here. Lane Johnson again, even at a 79, he did make the Pro Bowl for AFC left tackle, and Derek Westbrook again at left end number 2. Going a little bit further down here, there's Devin Bush for the Ravens. And then Kendall Sheffield really took the next step, and he's really starting to challenge William Jackson now that Jackson's getting a little bit older for that cornerback number 1 spot. And check it out, guys. We're back at the Super Bowl again. So we had 1 year off where we didn't make it, and now we're back. And we're taking on Reese Ingram-led Arizona Cardinals. So can we win another one? We do. We got it. We got it again. That's 4 Super Bowls with Tim Brady. He's got 4. He's got 4 in 5 years, guys. 4 in 6 years. 4 in 5 years? 4 in 5 years. I think it's 4 in 5 years. But there's the playoff road that we had, and there is the final box score. We absolutely took it to the Cardinals, guys. I think they had 8 or 9 wins, so they really were kind of not supposed to be there anyway. We had a pretty darn good season at 11-5, and look at Tim Brady's numbers compared to Reese Ingram. Like maybe the young guy wasn't really ready for it, But these 2 guys were drafted in the same class. So it's really cool to see how both Brady and Ingram kind of grew up, right? And now they're veterans in the NFL now, and to see them face off in a Super Bowl like that was pretty cool to see. Desmond Dallas, though, killed it, though. 12 receptions for 137 and a score. Garrett Wong also had another touchdown. And, this Bengal, like I said, guys, I predicted it. I proved it. I predicted it. I'm so happy that this was able to happen, guys, and I hope that you guys can, feel that too, because we did a lot of work with this roster. A lot of input in the comment section. A lot of you guys were talking, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that, and it ended up working. And we're set for many years of this type of run. And I'm going to leave it here. I'm just going to leave it here on the stats for Tim Brady, and I'll let you guys do your imagination on what ended up happening with Tim Brady and the Bengals. It seems like he's going to be a Bengal for life, and he's really upholding to that Michigan brand and that Tim Brady name, that Brady last name, right? So guys, let me know what your thoughts were on this video specifically, and overall the the series in general. What did you guys think? What did you guys like? What didn't you like? And let me know, because Madden 20, we're going to be doing something special as well. So guys, I appreciate everything that you've done for this channel and this series and the support. I'll see you guys in the next Madden series. Leave a like if you like this thing. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that red button for subscribe or my logo in the bottom right hand corner. See you guys in the next one. As always, hoo-day and peace.